Hi, my name is David Vogel. I'm the president of Federal Debt Reduction. I just wanted to thank you for taking your time to going through this orientation with us so we can explain how this program works and see if this is something that would be of interest to you. Most people right now are really having a hard time with finances, and especially with credit card companies, seeing how they're increasing the interest rates at their own whim. And so the way how credit cards worked many, many years ago is not too many people had them. And if you had a payment, you had to pay approximately 15% of the balance. Well, they designed it so that now people will pay around 2 to 4% of the balance. So they're actually in trouble, in jeopardy, because they're carrying more weight than what they should be carrying. And that being said, we have people that have $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 in unsecured credit debt, and which is a real problem for a lot of people, because now since the interest rates are going up, they really don't have the opportunity to be able to pay off that debt within a reasonable amount of time. And so the purpose of this orientation is to kind of give you a feeling for what our company can do for people, and to see if this would be a match with you, if you would like to be able to join us in the effort on helping those people. To give you an example of what people have in their choices, if they owe $40,000 in unsecured debt and their interest rate is 24%, they're paying $9,600 a year, or around $800 a month just in interest. Their payment might be $1,200. And so 2/3 of their payment is all interest. And so they only have $400 going towards their $40,000 unsecured credit card debt, which is not a whole lot of money, so that means it would take them a very long time to be able to actually handle that debt. What we propose is something different. If somebody has this type of situation, they really do not have too many options available to them. One of the options might be credit card counseling, in which that type of program is not a very wise choice. And let me explain why. Is because that particular program is designed by the credit card industry. They really don't want people to pay off their debt anytime soon, so in that program you pay 100% of the debt, and you still pay interest, and you still have to pay fees on top of that. And so with the interest rates being anywhere from 10 to 12%, and you're still paying the fees, and you pay 100% of the debt, it's going to take you quite a bit of time to actually handle that debt. On top of that, when you're finally done paying that debt, then they put CCCS, which means Credit Card Counseling Services, on your credit report. That will stay there for an additional 7 years. That's not a very good plan. So a lot of people have moved away from doing that type of program. Another popular thing that people were doing is taking money out of their homes. By doing this, 70% of the people that do that, they lose their home within a year and a half, because their habit hasn't changed. They take out equity out of their home, they pay off their debt, and so now they're in a situation where they run their credit cards back up, then they have the first mortgage, second mortgage, and then they still have the credit cards, and they end up losing their home because of that situation. The third choice would be bankruptcy, which maybe 8 years ago you could have gone bankrupt and done a Chapter 7 if you qualified. If you do a Chapter 7, and then you could flush away the debt and you never see it again. But the laws have changed. And BNA was commissioned to write the bankruptcy laws for the Bush administration. And that's what Congress signed into law, so they took away the traditional Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And everyone now is being forced to do a Chapter 13, which is kind of like credit card counseling, except now it's administered through the courts, and you have the court fees instead of the nonprofit fees. And in that program, it's a 60-month program, and you still pay a lot of court costs and a lot of fees on top of that, but it ruins your credit for 10 years after that point. So all your financial advisors are telling everybody that this program, debt reduction, is the best way to go. Now, why would the creditors want to do this? Well, number one, they have already agreed that they will do this, because if the interest rates can be 20, 30, 40%, I enrolled a young lady into the program, her interest was 40.9%. So, because it's unsecured debt and they can charge these type of exorbitant interest rates, they have to leave a way for people to escape. Well, they put that good news in the small print because they really don't want people to know that they can do this. The second thing is the money they pay does not go to us. It goes to themselves in an account that's in their name. So when the debt is paid back, it shows that they paid back the debt themselves, and they literally end up with a higher credit score. Because their debt-to-income ratios have drastically changed, it shows that they paid back the debt themselves. Whenever anybody charges more than 20% of their credit limit, or actually 25% of their credit limit, they are considered to be overextended. And whenever they charge 80% of their credit limit, they are considered to be drastically or grossly overextended. So by doing this program, it actually improves your credit score by 50 to 100 points. The third point about our program is that we are ADAC certified. ADAC is the American Association of Debt Arbitration Companies. They dictate to us the right way and the wrong way of how to do this business, which keeps us very successful, in which we are an extremely successful company. And we'll get more into that later on. Now, the other thing that I wanted to look at is going back to the situation where somebody owes this type of money. We're able to negotiate that debt anywhere from 20 to 40% traditionally. This gives them the opportunity to pay approximate, including all of the fees, anywhere from 60 to 70%. They would also receive a guaranteed effective interest rate of 0. So instead of losing, like in our example, the client was losing $800 a month, that's no longer the situation. We put them on a budget. We like to give them a lower payment, so then that way they have the funds available. And in case they're in a situation that they need the money, then they will have the money available and they won't be leaning on credit cards. So we change their buying habits and the way how they think about money. So this allows them to have a lower payment, become debt-free. So let's say somebody, going back to our example, if they owe $40,000 in unsecured debt, they might be paying $1,200, $1,300 or higher a month. And so if we lower their payment down to, we'll say, $1,000 a month, they could literally be debt-free in approximately 24 to 28 months and actually end up, like I said before, with a higher credit score. So this is a orientation. This kind of gives you an idea of what we're able to do for people. And for more details of how and what your commissions would be, because this does give you a very good opportunity to make quite a bit of money, because we would pay you a setup fee based upon what their setup fee was, and it's generally 50%. If they enrolled under the program, they had a $1,000 payment. The first payment is a setup fee of $399. You would receive half of that. Then when they start to pay their regular monthly payments of $1,000, you would receive a commission, which is 30% as a remote agent. Then the following month, you would receive 25%. Then the following month, you would receive 20%. So the total is 75%, or $7,500, plus the $299, which is half of the setup fee. So it doesn't take too many deals that you would have to write remotely from your location, as long as you're trained and you're authorized to do so, to make quite a bit of money. And so we wish you would take the opportunity to explore this thoroughly and think about it thoroughly, and the best wishes to you. Thank you and have a great day.